Hey, welcome back to the Crown Era. I hope you guys are doing well. In this video, I'm really been contemplating a lot of stuff for myself. So I'm really going to answer this question for myself. The question is, what if I make the wrong decision at this Crown Era stage of life? Well, the ifs. If you guys don't know, this is Coach Hunt. I'm a holistic self love coach, and I love me a reframe and an acronym. So I have an acronym for IF, and it's either identifying faith within yourself or outside of yourself, or identifying fear within yourself or outside of yourself. So when I think about this question of what if I make the wrong decision? We're in this crown era. We have a lot of intuition, we have a lot of wisdom. We've already made multiple wrong, quote unquote, wrong decisions in our lives, and we're still here. We're still thriving, not just surviving. We're still realizing that the world is our oyster, that this is our playground, and we're here to learn and play. And when I think about the wrong decision, so the wrong decision, what does that mean for me in this moment? I don't think I'll make the wrong decisions. Sometimes I make rash decisions. I make quick decisions. And sometimes I don't process a decision all the way through because I do have a lot of faith over fear in my life. Just recently, I've just did a lot of mentorship. I've invested in myself more heavily this year, and we're just in March, but I'm still investing in myself. And a lot of things around me has collapsed, and it's only the first 90 days of the year. And so I know by the end of the year, my harvest is going to be like super big because that's all I'm expecting. That's my decision. That's my comfort zone, is that whatever I'm going through today, it will manifest into profit tomorrow. So, what is wrong with thinking that things are going to go wrong when you make a decision for yourself? It's having lack of faith in yourself, the lack of faith in God, lacking faith in the ability that you can do anything possible for yourself. Now, again, we do have the wisdom to know not to be a fool. You don't want to identify yourself as a fool. That's another if. That's not something you want to do. Like, I'm not going to sell my house and go be an addict of some sort. That's not a decision that I want to do, but a decision to work on myself, do add more value to my knowledge base, add more value to who I am at a soul level, to understand what those reasonings are from my past and bring it up. All the psychology and the sociology and the human services and emotional intelligence and the spiritual realm and the karma and the trauma and the self-regulation and the self-identifying and the self-love and all the things that we keep labeling as humans to understand ourselves, because this whole life is all really a lot about, the majority is to play and learn, to reflect, and to have a self realization of who you are. You know, Earlier last year or sometime last year, when I was doing a lot of journaling and writing, and I asked God, "Who do you say that I am?" That's what I said. Like Jesus said, "Who do you say that I am?" And Spirit told me that I was a cluster of light. And I had to sit with that, and it made me cry. It gave me tears of validation and of remembrance that I am so infinite, that I'm not just one little light shining, but I'm a cluster of light that I have collected throughout the eons of who I am. And that's something that shifted and changed me at a soul level. And so when we're looking to make decisions, we want to continue in this era, the crown era, to make decisions with our intuition at a soul level, because there's so many things our soul want to experience from for ourselves and with the divine as a co-creator, that is so important. I mean, it's the main purpose at this point in life. And I know that in this time frame that I don't want to have the ifs of fear. So when I think about the wrong decision, I'm not gonna ever have a wrong decision. I'm gonna have maybe I'm not even gonna have a regretful decision. I'm not gonna regret anything that I choose to do because 90% of the time, I've already reflected and did some type of, how do I wanna say it? Planning and figuring out if I do this, will this happen, this happen, this happen, this happen, this happens. Probability, that's the word that I wanted. The probabilities and the possibilities. I'm going to weigh those out and I'm going to go for it. And sometimes it is sticky. Like right now, I'm in a sticky situation and I'm like, "Ugh, is this stickiness mud? Am I stuck in mud or am I stuck in molasses?" And so the thing about that is like mud, I'm just getting all dirty and I got to go get myself clean and it's not doing anything for me. But if I'm getting stuck in molasses, then there's a sweetness a part of it because I know that it's something different. It's whatever this is, it's gonna stick to me, but it's gonna be sweet. It's not gonna just be you know. I'm not gonna want to just get rid of it, so to speak. And that's how I see it in my mind's eye. So I'm stuck in molasses right now, but I'm able to move. I'm able to groove. And I know this too will pass. This will pass like everything else would pass. I remember at one point in my life, I think I was maybe 29. Oh, yeah, I might have been in my last part of my 20s or very early 30s, like 30. And my heart was broken, like, no, yeah, it was the latter part of my 20 spirit just said I was like 27. It's 27 years old, 27, 28, and I felt broken. I'm talking about one of those heartbreaks where you think you're gonna die because it hurts so much. It's it's so, what's the word? Paralyzing that you want to rip your heart out because you're in so much pain and you don't have any more tears to cry and you just want to just not be here and you just want to just have freedom from everything. And if I know I went through that over 20 something years ago, 2 decades, and I'm still alive and I'm still prosper and I'm still thriving, then I can do anything. I can do anything. The first time I had my heart feel like that is when my grandmother passed. So I've had that feeling of several times in my life, 3, 4 decades where I just felt like this is not the business. This is life is not supposed to be life and like this. Life is supposed to be life and like something else. And then it's those highs that we get that spirit just allows us to have. Like yesterday on the video, I was just like on one. I was happy. I was flowing. The energy was on it. And now I'm back to mellow. I'm not bipolar, y'all. I'm just saying. Some days be high, high, some days be lower, low. But that's why we have that midpoint. And when we know when we're at that midpoint, that is the time when we're choosing appropriately, I should say. And so we won't have any default expressions and decision making that will tilt us off course, knock us here, knock us there. And so there's no wrong decision. We need to get over the absolutes of wrong and right. Now, we may have made an unwise decision or we lack the intelligence or the information that we needed to make the best decision. But in life, I don't think decisions need to be wrong because then that makes us wrong with our choices. And for me, in this era, I don't want to make wrong decisions. So therefore, I will say there's no decision that I continue to make in my life to expand and to grow because I know the decision why I'm making the decision, then that's not a wrong decision. Excuse me. Yeah, because I love myself enough to know that every decision I make is for the greater good of me as well as everyone else in my vicinity, my family, my community, and for you. So I can come and share it and we can just be like, you know, crown queens together. Yeah, self-love is everything, you guys, just everything. That's why my Instagram channel is mainly, about self-love. And here on YouTube, it's about your intuition and your wisdom and how we just navigate the world. So if you didn't know who I am, again, I'm Coach Hunt. You can call me Angelina if you want. All my friends do. And I'm a holistic self-love coach. I'm also an intimacy somatic coach, and I do that as well. And I have your greatest interest at heart. And I just want to invite you, if you're willing and able, to leave a comment, provide me some clarity on this video, that you provide provide me the clarity that you received this video with something. I hope you learned something from it, or you got something, or you got an aha to remove wrong out of your vocabulary when you know you're doing the best that you can, even in all situations, and you have to double down and think back and say, well, maybe if I would have did this and maybe if I do that. Forget the maybes, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, all that stuff is nonsense to the brain. It's a wah, wah, wah to the brain. We're in this now moment, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. So if you want to know anything else about me, you can go ahead and look in the description box, you guys. I do have an offer if you want to utilize self-love as a ritual to pour in yourself more and more and more every day, multiple times a day, so you can give from your overflow. Then that information is also in the description box. It was a wonderful event, and you can know a little bit more about me as you grow into yourself. That's it. That's all. This live is done. And I'll see you guys in the next live or the next video. Bye.